Hello and welcome to another episode of People Know It, the podcast for people, season 3, Hidden Gems. I am Sanya Sharma, your host, and today I am reporting from the entrance to the Manchester of Assam, the village Sualkuchi, which is also known as the Silk Village or the Weaver's Village because it is popular for being the place where we produce three different types of silk: Muga, Eri, and Path. Now, this is a very interesting village because the myth or the fable, I don't think it's myth, but the fable or the story goes like this. Every house in Sualkuchi has a handloom which they use to weave textile made out of silk. That is how special weaving is in this village. And this village has actually, all that they have known for a very long time is weaving. And the story of Assam silk is actually very interesting because Assamese silk right now has is quite acclaimed internationally, and it has brought the state a lot of pride and a lot of laurel because of the quality. And it's these three major silks that are produced here. I will come. Muga is the gold silk, which actually has a geographical indication, and it is produced from a cocoon of a specific type of silkworm that is only found in Assam. And the largest place, the largest manufacturer of Muga is actually this village, Sualkuchi, at the entrance of which I am standing. Other than that, there is the Eri silk, which is also known as the Ahimsa silk, because this silk is produced by breeding silkworms. So, unlike the traditional process, you don't really need to kill silkworms. You can get access to silk just by breeding the silkworms. And then there is Path silk, which is shiny, which is not as expensive as Muga. It's got a nice shiny silvery tone to it, and it's very popular with fashion conscious people because it's easier to design and easier material to work with. I have set out on a journey today to visit some weaving houses and know more about how silk is manufactured and their journey to getting their own trademark. So, what does a village do when it realizes that the hard work that they put in to produce a silk is going to waste because cheap imitation is flooding the market? Well, showing they end up protesting in 2013 and apply for a trademark in their name. This is what Sualkuchi Tat Shilpa Unnayan Samiti did in 2013. It went and applied for a trademark registration for silk that is manufactured, the textile products that's manufactured in this village. And in 2018, it was granted a trademark that's called Sual Kuchis by the central government. The hope was that with the grant of this trademark, cheap imitations would stop flooding the market, and that the pride and the glory and the recognition that the silk deserves will come to the state, which was otherwise going to the states that were the cheap imitated products. However, it seems like that has not been the case because turns out that trademark or recognition was not the only problem. There is, of course, a problem with quality of the silk and the originality of the silk, but there is also a problem with ensuring the organization of the sector. In fact, today that I'm going into the village, I've already been told that a lot of workers are not in the village because now the village is flooded with migrant workers who don't really belong to the village, and they're working under conditions that are labor intensive. If you look at the handlooms, they're all open and they're not exactly the most tech friendly machines to operate with. So that does require a lot of sacrifice on behalf of the workers and the weavers. The time that goes into weaving these products is quite a lot actually, which is why the price that they get, it's not just about the price. There's a question of, are we getting the best price for the products that we are putting out in the market? And the other question is, are we getting the support that we need? What kind of government support is available? Assam government has launched a rural livelihoods mission whereby the aim is to provide support to social entrepreneurs across different industries. But the question always remains whether the support is actually accessible to those who need it. And if it is it accessible to all, or is it accessible to few? Because we have to bear in mind here that the industry does require people to invest money to bring raw materials, and raw materials, especially muga, is not cheap. So, with all that in mind, I'm now going to enter the village of Sualkuchi and try and interact with the locals to understand their weaving process, the conditions in which they do weaving, the types of clothes that they are weaving, and I'm also going to try and understand the quality checks that have been put in place to ensure that the product that is being sold from Assam is remains original in its quality. And at the same time, the questions that I'm grappling with in this episode as I try and understand the industry and the village and the working of the village more deeply is, what is it that the block needs to achieve its true potential? What mechanisms should be put in place for this particular block in terms of what kind of access or what kind of support the block could benefit from to unleash the full potential of its weavers, and to bring them the recognition, the monetary livelihood opportunities that they deserve and that they can truly benefit from. So let's get started. So I'm now standing at one of the weaving centers in Sualkuchi, and as I mentioned, Sualkuchi is a place where almost every household has a weaving center in their place. And you can see behind me that a mekla chadar is being weaved, and I have been lucky because I found the proprietors of DST Enterprises who have allowed me to shoot a video in this backyard. This particular place mostly trades in part silk, and we can understand the reasons behind that when I speak to the proprietor. But you can see behind me, these ladies have gotten up and they are now going to sit and prepare the silk, and it's going to it's the chadar is supposed to be 108 meters long, and if they work day and night, it takes them about 5 days. But if they're working like a normal human being, it will take them about 15 days to make this chadar, because there are many intricate patterns that exist in the chadar. One of the key things about this industry, the silk industry here, is that a lot of people are into it through generations, because of which they have a heavy attachment to the silk. Some people I've seen are doing it because their father have done it, their grandfathers have done it, and now they're just attached to it and they just never concentrated on anything else. And that's how silk is flowing through the houses in Sualkuchi. So I am now right now with Mr. Sankeshwar Besher, who runs this weaving center in his house, and I'm going to ask him a simple question, with the first one being, why part silk and not muga silk? So apuni pator কাম কিয় কৰিছে, মুগাৰ কাম কিয় কৰা নাই?
মুগাটো আগতে আছিল, কিন্তু এতিয়া তাৰ মানে কি দাম বাঢ়াৰ কাৰণে আমি মুগাৰ কামটো সীমিত হিচাপে কৰা গৈছে।
So he's saying that muga has become quite expensive and it requires a lot of resources and money to bring muga from the place where it's manufactured, and that's why they are manufacturing part. Pator কি স্পেশালিটি হয়? পাটটো মানুহে কিয় ভাল পায় ইমান মুগাতকে?
আমাৰ ধৰি লওক অসমীয়াৰ যিটো বিয়া সভা আছে, এই বিয়া সভাত এই পাটৰ কাপোৰটো বেছি চলে। আৰু ধৰি লওক শাৰী, মুগা পাট শাৰী, মুগা শাৰী, মুগা টছাৰী, এই তিনিটা বস্তুৱে চলি যায়। বিশেষকৈ আমাৰ পাটৰ কাপোৰটো বেছি আগৰণীয়া।
So he says that actually part is more widely used in the Assamese weddings, and people prefer part over Assamese muga silk. Sometimes I think it could also be because of expense, but also because part is actually very easily maintained, and that is also why many people prefer part mekhlas and part saris. Apni je textile industry চাই আছে তাতে আপুনি কি ভাবে কি ডিফাৰেণ্ট হ'ব পাৰে আপোনালোকক অলপ হেল্প কৰিবলৈ so I'm asking him a question what can be more useful in the textile industry from the government's perspective what is something that can be done that will benefit these people who are running these industries by themselves
আমাকতো হেল্প লাগে কিন্তু আমি ধৰি লওক নিজৰ কষ্টৰ ওপৰত মেনুফেকচাৰ কৰি আমি নিজৰ কামটো কৰি আছোঁ কিন্তু আমি চৰকাৰৰ ফালৰ পৰা কোনো হেৰি পোৱা নাই
আপোনাৰ স্পন্সৰশ্বিপ এনেকুৱা কিবা পোৱা নাই
নাই নাই নাই নাই একো পোৱা নাই
So he's saying everything is run by himself and there is no sponsorship as such. So there definitely is a scope for some sponsorship and some sort of financial intervention by the government to help these sole manufacturers. But other than that, all the silk weaving industry is being run by people themselves based on the skill. Or apuni etu keneke hikile skill to
আমাৰ ধৰি লওক দেউতাহঁতৰ ফালৰ পৰা শিকিছে
ঘৰতে শিকা.
ঘৰতে শিকিছে
Everything is taught. How many
ধৰি
years?
লওক 60 ইয়াৰ্ছ ধৰি লওক আমাৰ দেউতাহঁতৰ আছিল তাৰপিছত ধৰি লওক মই যেতিয়া ক্লাছ 6ত পঢ়োঁ তেতিয়াৰ পৰা এই বস্তুটো মই শিকিলোঁ
কোনো আপোনাক এক্সটাৰ্নেল কোনো শিকোৱা নাই
নাই শিকোৱা নাই মই নিজে শিকিছোঁ নিজে নিজে গ্ৰ' আপ হৈছে আৰু
all of these, the skill that they have in producing the cloth is self-taught. Actually, not self-taught, taught by their ancestors. So it's a family-run business, and there's no upskilling, no special training. So all of this is actually a treasure, and apunar secret hoy basically keneke kore hoy na nizor secret or secret hoy to. Your secret apunar kiba nizor kiba design ase secret design henekwa.
ডিজাইন মানে আমি ডিজাইন বহুত ডিজাইন আছে আমি ধৰি লওক এইবিলাক ডিজাইন যাক যেনেকুৱাকৈ লাগে আমি সেনেকুৱা ডিজাইন বনাই দিওঁ
Okay. Yeah. So he's saying obviously it's a secret and he has many templates for design and whoever wants whatever design they want, they're always ready to give that design. Okay. Thank you. So I'm continuing our journey about discovering Sualkuchi in Assam, and I am presently in the office of the laboratory that tests silk made in Sualkuchi. Now, this is a place of extreme importance because this place acts as an accountability as well as a protective mechanism for the weavers in Assam. So the story goes like this. We, of course, know by now that silk is manufactured, or like silk product, the cloth is manufactured in almost every household in Sualkuchi. However, there was a period where a lot of fake products or silk textile products that were not made in Sualkuchi were being passed off as Sualkuchi silk. That led to a lot of protests, and finally, the issue was resolved when Sualkuchi was granted its own trademark, which says Sualkuchis. And I've just seen that trademark. It's a hologram which mentions Sualkuchis on it, and the way that hologram gets passed down to the weavers is very interesting. So the panchayat has played a very big role, or all the traders who produce Sualkuchi silk within the panchayat of Sualkuchi, their houses have been surveyed with the help of the panchayat, and the traders find themselves in this trademark passbook after their weaving processes have been surveyed. So this trademark passbook has list of all the weavers in Sualkuchi who produce Sualkuchi silk. But the process doesn't stop there. After they have manufactured a cloth or a piece of clothing in Sualkuchi, they bring it to the center for testing. They bring it in bags like these. They bring it in bags like these. They deposit the products that they make in the morning, and they can take it back in the evening or sometimes the next day. And the center carries out testing, and the price for testing ranges from rupees 20 to rupees 60. It's very cheap, the testing that's done. And once the testing is done, the center then stamps the Sualkuchi trademark logo on the silk product. The tested silk products also get a silk mark, and they also get a QR code. And the benefit of the QR code is that if you scan the QR code, then you can get details of what the silk cloths that you are holding is actually made of, the type of silk, as well as a weaver ID. You don't get to know who the weaver is, but it's a good accountability measure, because if you have any issues with the quality in your silk, you can come over to the testing center, which is also mentioned in the details of the QR code, and you can always ask for clarification, or you can make a complaint, or you can raise your concern, and the center will address the concern. And now I have with me Mr. Alok Pesha, who is the head technician at the testing center in Sualkuchi. And he has very kindly agreed to say a few words about the testing center. Dana, thank you very much for agreeing to speak on the podcast. মোৰ মানে question আছিলে, আপুনি যে টেষ্টিং প্ৰচেছ কৰিছে, আপুনি কি কেনেকৈ চাইছে, কেনেকৈ বেনিফিট কৰিছে ভিউৱাৰ্ছবোৰক? So I'm asking him, how has he seen the process benefiting the viewers? মানে কেনেকৈ লাভ কৰিছে আমাৰ শুৱালকুছি ভিউৱাৰ্ছবোৰৰ?
নমস্কাৰ, মই আমাৰ যিটো প্ৰচেছ এতিয়া টেষ্টিং আমাৰ এতিয়া চলি আছে, কথা হ'ল আমাৰ যিটো শুৱালকুছিৰ বস্ত্ৰ বুলি কওঁতে এটা বেলেগ এটা এক্সাইটেড মন এটা আহি যায় যে শুৱালকুছিৰ কাপোৰ এযোৰ সঁচাই আমাৰ অসমৰ ৰাইজে বা আমাৰ ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ বা পৃথিৱীৰ মানুহে শুৱালকুছিৰ কথা বুলি কওঁতে শুৱালকুছিৰ কাপোৰ এযোৰ পিন্ধিবৰ কাৰণে সকলোৰে হেঁপাহ থাকে। গতিকে সেই হেঁপাহৰ কাপোৰযোৰ যদি ডুপ্লিকেট হয়, যদি কিবা চিন্থেটিক সূতাৰে বনোৱা হয়, যদি শুৱালকুছিৰ মানে আচল চানেকিবিলাক নাথাকে, তেতিয়াহ'লে নিশ্চয় অলপ মনত দুখ লাগিব যে মই ইমান পইচা দি এযোৰ কাপোৰ কিনিলোঁ, কিন্তু কাপোৰযোৰ শুৱালকুছিৰ নহয়। সেই অৰ্থ আমি আগত ৰাখি, সেই বস্তুটো আমি কাষ্টমাৰৰ কথাখিনি আগত ৰাখি আমাৰ 2013ত তাঁত শিল্প উন্নয়ন সমিতি বুলি এখন সমিতি গঠন হ'ল। তাৰে পিছত সেই সমিতি কিছু ডিছকাছ কৰি বা অসম চৰকাৰৰ লগত বা শুৱালকুছিৰ ৰাইজৰ লগত ডিছকাছ কৰি শুৱালকুছি চিল্ক টেষ্টিং বুলি এইটো লেবৰেটৰী 2016ত এইটো ইয়াতে প্ৰতিষ্ঠিত কৰিলে। গতিকে তাৰে পিছৰ পৰা আমি আজি বিগত 9 years আমি ইয়াতে কাম কৰি আছোঁ। আৰু এই 8-9 বছৰত আমাৰ অভিজ্ঞতা হিচাপত আমি ক'ব বিচাৰিছোঁ যে আমাৰ অসমৰ ৰাইজ বা ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ ৰাইজ বা ৱৰ্ল্ডৰ বিভিন্ন ঠাইৰ পৰা আহি আমাৰ ইয়াতে কাপোৰ পৰীক্ষা কৰিছে, আৰু আমাৰ শুৱালকুছিৰ কাপোৰো বিভিন্ন জেগাত গৈ তাতে শুৱালকুছিৰ চিনাকিটো যে পাইছে, শুৱালকুছিৰ যে কাপোৰ এযোৰ এনেকুৱাকৈ পদ্ধতি মানে চাইণ্টিফিক হিচাপে আমি যি দাঙি ধৰিছোঁ, সেইটোৰ কাৰণে অসমৰ ৰাইজে বা আমাৰ গোটেই ভাৰতবৰ্ষৰ ৰাইজে এইটো আমাৰ প্ৰচেষ্টা শলাগ লৈছে, আৰু আমি 95% আমি ছাকচেছ বুলি আমি ধাৰণা হৈছে।
এইটো বিৰাট ডাঙৰ কথা। That's a very, very big thing to make sure that Sualkuchi silk is contributing actually to the rise of Assam, which is important. And here you see the role of intellectual property and the power that intellectual property like trademarks can play in really protecting the state's hard work, the state's identity, and also giving state the global podium that it deserves and the recognition that it deserves to bring more pride in business and economic growth to the state. আৰু আপোনাৰ কি ক'ব যোনে যদি শুৱালকুছি চিল্ক কিনিব যোনে সোধে আপুনি কি এডভাইচ দিব তেওঁক কিবা এডভাইচ দিব
শুৱালকুছিৰ কাপোৰ এযোৰ কিনিবলৈ হ'লে আমি যিকেইটা আমি যিখিনি প্ৰক্ৰিয়া আমি কৰিছোঁ ইয়াতে সেই প্ৰক্ৰিয়াখিনি চালে গম পাই যাব যে শুৱালকুছিৰ কাপোৰ প্ৰকৃত কাপোৰ হয় নে নহয় সেইটো গম পাই যাব আৰু সেইটো কেনেকুৱাকৈ গম পাব মই অকণমান কৈ দিছোঁ আপোনাক কাৰণ কি আজিকালি বিভিন্ন ধৰণৰ কাপোৰ মাৰ্কেটত আহি গৈছে সেই আমাৰ যিটো শুৱালকুছিৰ আমাৰ যিটো প্ৰচেষ্টা আমাৰ শুৱালকুছি চিল্ক টেষ্টিং লেবৰেটৰীৰ যিটো প্ৰচেষ্টা সেই প্ৰচেষ্টাৰ এইখন কাপোৰ যিখন কাপোৰ টেষ্টেড অলৰেডি হৈ গৈছে আৰু টেষ্টেড হোৱাৰ পিছত আমাৰ এইখিনি যিখিনি প্ৰতিবেদন আমাৰ ইয়াতে আছে ইয়াতে হয়তো কেমেৰাই হয়তো অকণমান দূৰৰ পৰা এইখিনি আমাৰ এই কাপোৰখনৰ প্ৰতিবেদন আৰু এইখিনি
আপুনি যে লাষ্ট কুৱেশ্যন দাদা কিবা কমপ্লেইনছ পাইছে নেকি কাষ্টমাৰৰ পৰা
কাষ্টমাৰৰ পৰা আমি বিশেষ কমপ্লেইন এনেকুৱাকৈ পোৱা নাই কাৰণ কি এইটো আমাৰ প্ৰচেষ্টাটো সঁচাই সকলোৱে শলাগ লৈছে যে খুব এটা ভাল প্ৰচেষ্টা হোৱা বুলি আমাৰ বহুতে কৈছে আৰু আমাৰ ইয়াৰ কাষ্টমাৰখিনিও বা অসমৰ যিখিনি মানুহ কাষ্টমাৰ আছে বা কাপোৰ কিনিব যায় দোকানত আমিতো কাষ্টমাৰক লগ নাপাওঁ যিখিনি মানুহে কাপোৰ কিনে আমি লগ নাপাওঁ কিন্তু আমি লগ পাওঁ আমাৰ যিটোখিনি আমাৰ ৱেভাৰ্ছ আছে যিখিনি প্ৰডিউচাৰ আছে সেইখিনিকহে আমি লগ পাওঁ সদায় লগ পাওঁ তেওঁলোকৰ ফিডবেকটো হ'ল যে খুব সুন্দৰ প্ৰচেষ্টা হৈছে আৰু সেই প্ৰচেষ্টা মানে ভাল পোৱাৰ কাৰণে আজি আমাৰ মানুহখিনি 100% মানুহখিনি এতিয়া আমাৰ ইয়াতে টেষ্টিং কৰি বা আমাৰ ষ্টিকাৰ লগাই কেনে দোকানত দি দিয়ে আৰু দোকানী আহিলে কাপোৰ বিকি আছে
Yep. So I think that's a very pertinent point that the process is very it's a foolproof process and clearly the process is successful, the testing process that's followed here because of which a lot of weavers are finding a market for their products and they are increasingly coming and getting the silk product tested here. One more fact which we discussed and that I am koisile that because the testing process does not cost that much it's just for 20 to 60 rupees maximum for a piece of cloth depending upon the length it also saves customers from being robbed of more money than required in the name of testing. So, in that manner, the testing center is also making sure that the authenticity and the credibility of the weavers of Sualkuchi remains intact with reasonable and affordable testing process. Thank you. So the testing center adopts 3 types of tests to check the authenticity of the Sualkuchi silk. One is a burning test, second is a microscopic cross-sectional view, and third is a chemical test. I am currently going to opt for a microscopic cross-sectional view test of Tussar silk. So I can see I'm going to the design of the silk cloth that has been put under the microscope, and I have a chart next to me where I can see whether it resembles Tussar silk or not, and it resembles Tussar silk. So this is how Tussar silk looks. I have Ms. Junali Das who has kindly agreed to also show me the burning tests. So we are going to see burning test. So you see, we just cut the cloth, the string.
Just like hair burning.
Hair burning. Tenehole, what is this? If hair burning hole, silk. Kuntu hobo? Marwari silk. Mulberry silk, yeah. So this is mulberry silk because the burning of mulberry silk is supposed to smell just like hair burning. Mainly they do two types of testing here, which is the burning test and the microscopic test. They usually use the microscopic tests to figure out what is the underlying material, whether it's part, tussar, eri, muga, and then they use the burning test to further confirm that the material that they're dealing with is silk. Because when the silk, Sualkuchi silk, burns, it smells like hair and it immediately turns into ashes, like just like dust. Whereas if it's plastic or if it's synthetic material, then there will be a gooey nature to the burnt product. Thank Now, on our journey to discovering Assam silk, I'm standing in the house of a weaver who weaves Muga silk clothes. And I've been roaming around Sualkuchi, and it's been difficult for me to find a household where I could find someone using Muga silk, just because Muga silk is so pricey. And I'm lucky that I found this household. So here are the Muga cocoons, which I have just seen. As you can see, these are Muga cocoons, and this is the raw material that's bought by the weavers. The weavers whose house I'm in right now buys these from Garo Hills, and a kg of Muga costs about 40,000 rupees to and that is used to produce cloth. So you need about like 10 of these cocoons to produce the thread, the golden thread, which is muga. So this is the golden thread, which is then used in the hand loom. There's another process whereby this is put in some liquid to make sure it has the right consistency that's needed for it to stick together, and then it's put in the hand loom where it is loomed into a textile. Now, look at this, and I'll show you something else which is very interesting, which is this. Both these things look quite similar, but that is pure Muga, and this is not pure Muga. Actually, this has been mixed with Tussar silk, so this is not authentic pure Muga. This is Tussar silk. So, what some traders do is, instead of using 10 of these cocoons, which I just showed you, so normally you would use, say, 10 of these to produce a set of golden thread. But what some of the weavers and traders do, because Muga is so expensive, they will use 5 of this and add Tussar silk to it and produce a cloth that looks like Muga but is not actually Muga. So, how do you know that what you are buying is actually Muga or not? Because technically it's silk and it will pass the silk mark test. IP is again protecting the work of Assamese weavers in Sualkuchi, and the IP that's protecting them is geographical indication. So here I have with me a GI mark that the traders use. So the weavers who produce Muga silk are registered. They have a specific registration ID, and they get the right to put geographical indication mark on their silk products. So if you buy a Muga silk product which has a GI, you will always have the registered ID of the weaver. So if you have any complaints against the quality of the silk, you have a way to track the weaver and to complain against the quality, which you can't do if you're buying a product that does not have GI. GI is also protecting the weavers' economy here, so that those weavers who are actually putting in the effort, investing the capital and the labor that is required to produce the golden cloth, get rewarded for their efforts, for the purity that they maintain in the cloth, as opposed to those who mix and match and produce gold that is not exactly gold. So this is Assamese gold, and this is a mekhela chador made out of muga. I've also just been handed out a very nice coat that's made out of muga. This is about 17,000 rupees. And the good thing about muga is it is good for skin. It does not get old. In fact, there is a saying that muga just increases in value just like gold, which is why it's called gold. So the older it gets, the more it shines, and you can wash it, you can iron it, and it just stays amazing, and it stays new, and it gets better. So look out for geographical indication on the muga silk, and don't buy muga silk that does not have GI unless you're looking for something that's a mix and match product, in which case beware of the price. Now I have with me the owner, the weaver at whose place I'm at. Thank you দাদা টাইম ওলোৱাৰ কাৰণে। আপোনাৰ এইটো আপুনি যিটো GI ৰাখিছে নিজৰ লগত, এইটো আপোনাক কেনেকৈ হেল্প কৰিছে GI-টো?
জিআইটো মানে আমি চৰকাৰে বিজ্ঞান ভৱনৰ পৰা এপ্লাই কৰি আমি অসমত যেতিয়া জিআই মাৰ্ক পালে তেতিয়া অৰিজিন যিবিলাক মুগা কাপোৰ বনায় আমি চৰকাৰৰ পৰাই অথৰাইজ কৰি লৈ আহিছোঁ যে আমি অৰিজিন মুগা কাপোৰ বনাম, সেইবুলি আমি জিআই মাৰ্ক লৈছোঁ। আৰু এতিয়া আমাৰ জিআই মাৰ্ক লোৱাটো মানে অৰিজিন মুগা বুলি কাপোৰ প্ৰডাকশ্যন কৰিবলৈ বাধ্যতামূলক আমি। আৰু যিবিলাকে জিআই লোৱা নাই তেতিয়া বজাৰৰ মাৰ্কেটৰ সূতাটো ভেজাল সূতা আনিলেও সেইটো বনাব পাৰে তেওঁলোকে, আমি কিন্তু নোৱাৰোঁ। কিয় নোৱাৰোঁ? আমি জিআই মাৰ্ক লগাই দিয়া যায় আৰু জিআই অথৰাইজ আছে আমাৰ। তাৰপিছত এতিয়া চিলিক মাৰ্ক লগা কাপোৰটো মুগা নহ'বও পাৰে। ইয়াৰ কাৰণটো আপোনাৰ সূতাটো দেখালোঁ, তাৰমানে টৰ্চাৰডাল আৰু মুগা 5টা ককন দি মিক্স কৰি কাটিলে সেইটো চিলিক মাৰ্কে পালে, কিন্তু জিআই মাৰ্ক ল'ব নোৱাৰে সেইটো, কাৰণ সেইটো মিচিং সূতাটো মানে ব্যৱহাৰ কৰিলে তো কম ৰেটত মানে হেৰি কৰে। কিন্তু কাষ্টমাৰক যদি কমত দিলে তো ক'ব লগা নাছিলে, কিন্তু অৰিজিন মুগা 40,000 45,000 টকাৰ দামৰ ভিতৰত সূতাটো ইউজ কৰা দেখুৱাই কিনে এই ভেজাল সূতাটোৱে কাপোৰখন বিক্ৰী কৰি কাষ্টমাৰক ঠগ খাইছে। আৰু কাষ্টমাৰক ঠগ খোৱাৰ কাৰণে আমাৰ কাপোৰটো সমাদৰটো কমি যায় তাৰমানে। সেইটো কাৰণে সকলো যদি মুগা কাপোৰ লোৱাবিলাকে সকলোৱে জিআই মাৰ্ক লওক আৰু অৰিজিন মুগা কাপোৰটো প্ৰডাকশ্যন কৰক, তেতিয়াহ'লে কাষ্টমাৰো ছেটিছফাই হ'ল, অৰিজিন মুগা পাইছোঁ আৰু আমাৰ ব্যৱসায়নো চলিত পিনে ব্যৱসায় মানে আৰম্ভ হ'ল। সেইটোৱে আমি বিচাৰোঁ তাৰমানে আৰু।
আৰু মুগাটো ইমান দামী হয়, তথাপি আপুনি মুগাই কিয় কৰিছে মুগাৰ কামে কিয় কৰিছে, বেলেগ কৰা নাই? ইমান দামী এইটো হয়।
মুগাটো মই মাত্ৰ 1983 পৰা মই মুগাৰ কাপোৰ কৰি আছোঁ। তেতিয়া 1000 মুগাৰ দাম 70 টকাত কিনিছিলোঁ, আজি আহি 7,000 8,000 9,000 টকা হৈছে 1000 ককনৰ দাম। তথাপি মুগা কৰি আছোঁ কি মোৰ এটা ফেমাছ বিখ্যাত হৈ আছে, এতিয়া আপুনি আহিছে এটা মুগা বিচাৰি আহিছে, সেনেকৈ ব্যৱহাৰ কৰি আছোঁ। আৰু মুগা কাপোৰটো আমাৰ লছ নাযায়, দাম হৈছে পইচা ইনভেষ্ট কৰিছোঁ, লাভো পাইছোঁ। এতিয়া আমি যোৰা এটাত ধৰি লওক মিনিমাম 8,000 টকা লাভ পোৱা যায়, আৰু পাটৰ মালবাৰী কৰিলে মানে অৰিজিন মাৰ্কেটত ইমান দাম লাভ নাপায়, টকাটো ইনভেষ্ট আমাৰ মিলি থাকে আৰু মুগা কাপোৰটো যদি আমি নকৰোঁৱে তেতিয়া অসমৰ সন্মানটো নোহোৱাই যাব। জিআই মাৰ্কত মানে যি অসমে জিআই লৈছে, আমাৰ নিচিনা যদি সেইখিনি কামটো নকৰোঁ তেতিয়াহ'লে সন্মানটো নোহোৱাই যাব অসমৰ মানে মুগাটো। সেইটো হ'বতে আমি মানে ধনী হ'ম বুলি ভবা নাই, আৰু সন্মানটো বাঢ়ি থাকক বুলি মুগা কামটো কৰি আছোঁ তাৰমানে।
Thank you. This is a very interesting point he makes, that he is continuing to invest in muga because of the respect and the samman, the homman that muga brings to Assam, and also because he gets a lot of visits from people abroad who come searching for muga because muga is gold. Thank you, Dada. training in designing, sewing textiles, and of course, things couldn't be better if you're producing silk. Working on Sualkuchi fabric in Sualkuchi. So I've just finished my journey through the Sualkuchi village, and I'm currently standing outside the Bostro Udyan, or the Cloth Museum. I just had a look inside, and it's definitely not about mushrooms. The museum is about the handlooms of Sualkuchi, and you can see a lot of installations that show the various stages of weaving. In my journey through Sualkuchi today, I found a lot of insight that I was lacking because I had only read about Sualkuchi in books and on social media. So as I see, Sualkuchi has two challenges to face. One, or rise up to. One, of course, is maintaining the authenticity, the purity of its products, which the government is doing all that it can by making sure it has a registry and that it's carrying out the testing process properly. However, the question then is, what is the practical implication of it? And there is a mechanism that has been provided for complaints to be resolved, but are there any complaints being made and are they actually being resolved? Remains a question. The next question, of course, again, is what can be done to promote, to give further live access to sponsorship opportunities to weavers and financial opportunities that is needed, marketing opportunities that is needed for the weavers to put their work out into the market, because at the end of the day, it does boil down to a battle of resources. Every designs are also quite unique to Assam, and they are provided by the government. What is it that ends up distinguishing a successful weaver from another weaver who nobody knows about? People would say it comes down to marketing, but again, what is it that's helping some people market and others? Why is it that others are lagging behind? So at the end of the day, it is a matter of resources. Those who have the resources to ship their products into the city or to get the kind of marketing that they need are doing it, and those who don't have it don't get the kind of exposure that they deserve. So there is definitely a need to organize the work output of the weavers here, and also for people to be conscious that there are imitations out there and that there are substandard quality silk products out there, but you need to do your own due diligence to make sure that the silk product that you are buying is inspected and original and authentic and a product of Assam. Locals here will always know how to find the best product and the best silk in the market. So when buying a local product, always ask a local, think like a local to make sure you're buying the best local quality product. Other than that, I definitely would recommend Sualkuchi as a place that you should visit on your trip to Assam. And it's definitely a silk that you should watch out for. And maybe it is already there around you, but it's something that you just need to discover a bit more. The brilliant properties, the Assamese gold, and maybe your next big purchase for the fashion season is going to be Assamese silk. Let me leave you with that thought. And on that note, I'm going to take your leave, but I will be back in the next episode with a new topic. So stay tuned. Let me know if you have any feedback. Follow the podcast, share it, subscribe to it, share your thoughts, and reach out if you have any specific questions. Until then, take care.